Hello farmers, we are back.
And before we set out to meet new farmers, we are revisiting some of our amazing farmers from Kenya, Uganda,
Welcome
to Shamba, Uganda,
and Zambia.
Munda Makeover.
As the new planting season begins, let's look at what to consider before planting a new crop.
and how to adjust to the changing climate. Today, we will look at conservation agriculture, or CA in short, which has been a great tool in fighting climate change and getting better yields.
Let us now visit Farmer Okoko in Homa Bay County and learn more on what conservation agriculture is all about. Wilson from FAO is here to teach us.
Conservation agriculture is based on 3 pillars.
Right.
And the farmer to be able to reap or to benefit fully from conservation agriculture should practice the 3 principles. One of them is minimum soil disturbance, and that is applying only the area where the seed is going to be planted.
Makes sense? Let's break it down. So how you dig or plow your land matters when it comes to climate change. By digging the whole farm, you have exposed it all to the sun. This means that there's a lot more evaporation of the moisture in the soil, so your soils dry up faster. So, if the rains are not enough, your crop will die. 2. If there's too much rainfall, then your exposed soil will be easily swept away with all its nutrients. So minimum tillage helps to conserve as much moisture as possible, and your soils also remain in place in case of heavy rainfall. If there is little rain, your crop will be able to survive and give you a great yield. There are several ways of doing the minimum tillage when you're plowing your land, and more tools are being invented. You can use the hand hose to make holes or do the rip lines. You can also use animal-drawn rippers to make some rip lines. For big farms, you can use tractors that have been attached with rippers. So you can choose depending on the money you have, because some will cost a bit more but will also work faster, like the tractors.
We travel to Thika Hills to meet our farmer Peter, who wants to grow maize and is still using a djembe like some of you. Josephat Musenze from Pafid will show him how to do minimum tillage using a djembe.
The smaller the djembe, the better, because we want to maintain the minimal soil disturbance.
Using a djembe means the holes are not too large. Now, to make sure we get the maize planted in a straight line, Josephat is using a rope as a guide with bottle tops every 70 centimeters to indicate how far apart the basins should be dug.
The depth should be 15 to 20 centimeters. Why 15 to 20? This is the root zone of the crop. And already at that point, you have already broken the hard pan.
Use a biro as a quick guide to make sure you have the correct depth, 20 centimeters, and the correct length too.
If you check, this biro is 15 centimeters. It means this 15, that, then this is 5 centimeters.
45.
So this gives you 35 centimeters. So you are short of the precision.
Wow.
Those are the basins. Then the width of the basin should be the size of the djembe. If you look at my djembe, has also some measurements. This is 75 centimeters. From the line of the maize to the next line of the maize should be 75 centimeters. For the learning,
That is spacing.
you just press it here. Just bring it down here.
So, to recap, dig planting holes 20 centimeters deep, 35 centimeters long, and around 15 centimeters wide, or the width of a standard djembe. Spacing from one hole to the next is 25 centimeters, and spacing from row to row is 75 centimeters.
Now we move on with the planting.
Take a handful of your organic fertilizer like compost and a bottle top of synthetic fertilizer like NPK and put in the basin. Mix well. Add some topsoil and place your certified maize seed on top. Cover with soil. Next door, Farmer Francis has a bigger shamba and wants to try out minimum tillage using a tractor to save time.
Our expert Josephat from Perfeed has brought in the Dume Reaper. But how does it work?
Key principle is minimum soil disturbance.
Yes.
So once you look this reaper, you all need to reap where you will only plant and apply the fertilizers. So you not disturb the soil.
So why is reaping important?
One, you are breaking the hard pan. And one, this is the thing which you go penetrate deep up to 25 to 30 centimeters for you to break the hard pans of the soil.
Now, what is hard pan?
Hard pan is the hard part of the soil. Once we plant the crop, the roots cannot penetrate through that. It's like a rock. Actually, it's created by our activities. Several years of plowing, several activities we are doing in the farm. So there is that level of hard pan. So that's why we want to use the reaper to break the hard pan.
Good. How does it work?
Tony, here it is not a magic. This is the reality. And one, we start with the first part of it. In your farm, there will be a lot of residues. And when there's a lot of residues, when you don't have this, the reaper will just cull a lot of residues and it will be lifted up. The depth will not be acquired. So this culture will cut those residues into pieces to give way to the reaper, which is used to go deep in the soil.
So using the Dume Reaper completes many jobs in one. The cutter cuts the residue, leaving room for the reaper to dig deep into the soil, breaking the hard pan. While on the back, the clubber smashes any large clumps of earth, leaving a fine soil ready for planting. Job done.
Once you use the Dume Reaper, you are assured of one saving time. And once time is saved, there's money saved. Because it has just started from here and it's checked where it is now.
Wow,
that
Francis,
you are saving
you see
a lot
how
of
fast
time.
it's moving?
Yeah.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So now, what are the benefits?
The way the replants are being meant. Once it rains, there is a lot of water harvested. There will be no runoff. The water moves to the replants. Once it fills, it moves to the another replants.
Our replants are ready and they are 75 centimeters apart. Apply your manure or compost together with your synthetic fertilizer. Mix well and cover with a thin layer of topsoil. Place your seeds 25 centimeters apart and cover with soil.
So our maize is now planted, but there were three main principles of conservation agriculture. We have only looked at minimum tillage.
Okay, so what's the second principle?
We are looking at basically the rotation to break the monotony of same crop, same field. There's a lot of disadvantages. Among them is a build-up of what? Soil-borne diseases or pests. The other one is when you rotate, there's maximum utilization of the what? Nutrients. Because crops have different feeding habits.
Right.
Others feed from deep down, others feed shallowly. Right. So when you rotate in that way, you're able to maximize the utilization of that piece of land.
Okay.
Right here in Kenya, Farmer Elizabeth has been rotating maize with sorghum with poor results. This is because you have to rotate crops of different families. Last season, Elizabeth received help from Eric Kiongo from Perfeed, and she's now happy.
I was planting maize, sorghum, wakati mkubwa.
For a long time.
For a long time. When I was taught by Eric, I planned to plant green grams.
Green grams. And so far, how is it taking you?
It's nice.
It's nice.
It's nice.
Is this the very first time you're practicing the crop rotation?
Yes.
Yeah, crop rotation is very important for our farmers.
Yes.
You see, we've been experiencing poor yield in our farms, but the farmers have never known what is the problem. The problem is that they kept on planting the same crop year in, year out, and in the process they deplete the soil nutrients. So what happens is we need to bring back our soil into the fertility it was supposed to be. Now, she planted maize last time, and this time around we are planting legumes. Green gram is one of the legumes. The legumes do fix nitrogen, while the maize or the sorghum, they take nutrients.
Just to take us back, what did you plant here initially? Maize and?
Sorghum.
Maize and sorghum. is in that rotation? I mean,
No.
it's different plants.
No. Maize and sorghum are of the same family.
They come from the same family.
It's the same thing.
So legumes are different.
Is the difference, yeah. We get a lot of benefit from crop rotation. Number one, we break the cycle of diseases, pest and diseases. And number two, we improve our soil fertility.
All right.
Number three, we retain moisture for our crops.
So, rotate crops on your shamba that belong to different crop families. For example, maize and sorghum are from the same crop family. You can rotate them with crops from the legume family, such as green grams or beans. Some farmers also rotate maize and beans with the third crop, such as potatoes. Do you think it is very beneficial for you to practice crop rotation?
It is beneficial because this time when I tried to plant green grams, it's very nice.
Eric, there is something that is a bit disturbing for me. I can see there are 3 rows of maize. When I look at the maize, it's not looking healthy. There is a problem somewhere. What is the problem?
Let's go to the maize and show you what is happening.
Okay.
Yeah, ideally we planted 3 lines of maize as a windbreaker to prevent wind from disturbing our crop. But again, we have something to learn here. This maize is not doing okay.
Clearly.
Simply because this block was planted maize before.
Yes.
And she came back with maize. So this clearly shows if she could have planted maize in the whole of this block, this is what she could have expected.
It would have been looking this bad.
With all these rains, meaning that rain, it was not an issue. It was about good agricultural
it even
practices.
has stunted growth.
Yeah.
I don't know whether Elizabeth has another farm where the maize is doing very well. Do you have another shamba where?
That one.
Can we see that shamba?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
Let us go.
Wow. Eric, this is totally awesome. Tell what's happening here?
Now, this is a result of crop rotation, as we were discussing earlier.
Yes, total transformation.
Yeah, exactly. And yet this is not a 100% transformation. We are just starting. It is the first crop after the rotation, and we're expecting good yield in future rotations.
Of course, it can't happen overnight.
Yeah, sure,
it has to take some time.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Elizabeth,
Yes.
are you happy with what you're seeing, considering what we saw in the other shamba?
I'm happy because the time I was planting,
Yes.
not so good like this one.
Wow. This is so good.
Yes.
Coming up after the break, it's all about conservation agriculture.
Welcome back to Shamba Shape Up. Today we are learning about conservation agriculture, or CA. Now, we know about minimum tillage and crop rotation. Let's find out about the third principle.
So, what is the third principle?
The third principle, we are looking at basically issues of the residue retention. So
Okay.
for now, we have groundnut
Groundnuts.
residues. You spread them within your field
Okay.
so that there's a bigger piece of land that is protected to check the erosion.
Okay.
Because of the climate change, there's erratic rainfall. We don't know when the next rain will come.
Right.
So once there's a cover on the ground, they tend to hold a lot of moisture that will prolong the life of our crop in a given piece of land. When it rains, then they decompose.
Okay.
And when they decompose, they add to the soil fertility in our field.
Now, let's go back to Kenya and learn more with Farmer Alfred in Tharaka Nithi. Our expert, Josephat Musenze, is already here.
Tharaka is generally a hot, dry place, so we've asked Josephat to give us some advice on how to keep moisture in the soil by reducing evaporation. And best of all, it doesn't cost the farmer a single shilling. Why is it very important to have soil cover?
There is no direct heat from the sun.
Why is that important?
Meaning, there is no evaporation. It's very simple. So if there is no evaporation, it means with the minimal rain we have in Tharaka Nithi, the farmer can harvest. But with the direct heat from the sun, there is a lot of evaporation, the soil lose the water. And also above all, the soil also lose the pH value of the soil. It means the humus, the fertility of the soil would not be there.
The soil loses its
Yeah,
fertility.
fertility.
All right.
So for today, we want to enforce the issues of residue by doing it practically with Alfred, so that Alfred now he can understand it and also he can use it also to train other farmers. Because can't remember, you can't give what you don't have.
That is
So he has to understand the principles very clearly. So what we are going to do today is to set a residue demo plot. In this residue demo plot, we measure 2 squares equal. One square will have residue, the other one will not have residue. Then on that also we use the same amount of water. We water the same 2 squares with the same amount of water. Then the farmer will see clearly the difference of where there is residue and where there don't have residue.
Wow. All right, seeing is believing. Let's do this.
So first we'll move the residues.
Can I help?
Now what we'll do is we'll get 2 squares equal, which is the sample now of the farm. In the first square, we will put residues. Still this one.
So, in one plot, we are adding the crop residue and some manure to cover the soil. And in the other plot, we are leaving it open to the sun.
Now, we will use the same amount of water to water the 2 demo plots to see the difference. We are assuming this is a rain, which is now a rain in these 2 farms.
The soil is being carried by the water.
Yes.
Because it is the surface.
Yes.
In this surface, no running of soil because it is already mulched or covered. Yeah.
After some time, we can see now
the difference
with the solar now we have here in Tharaka.
Yes.
Within a few hours, you will see different.
All right.
From the one with the residue and the one without.
Welcome to the Shamba Shape Up Farming News for Kenya. Today we are going to have another look at Kenya's seasonal forecast for the March to May long rains. As stated last time, we expect normal to below normal rains in northeastern, southeastern and the coastal regions, while the central, Rift Valley, western and Nyanza regions expect to get normal to above normal rains compared to the past years. When making such a forecast, experts look at how much rain we've been getting in the past years. They then predict if the coming season will have above normal, normal or below normal rains as compared to the past years in each region. Depending on the variety, maize needs between 450 to 800 millimeters of rains, beans and cabbage need between 300 to 500 millimeters of rains, sorghum, green grams, cowpeas and other crops in this family need between 200 to 500 millimeters of rains, and potatoes need 850 to 1,400 millimeters of rains. Northwestern counties including Turkana and Samburu are likely to get normal to below normal rains. The total rains here will be close to 200 millimeters. Northeastern region expects to get rainfall below 200 millimeters as well. This includes Marsabit, Mandera, Wajir, Isiolo and Garissa. If you're in these regions, make simple basin structures like zai pits using jembes to hold rainwater and use it for planting quick maturing crops like cowpeas, sorghum, green grams and fodder grasses. Increased rains may increase the risk of livestock parasites like ticks and worms. Ensure you deworm your livestock as soon as the rains begin. Southeastern counties including Kajiado, Makueni, Kitui, Machakos, Taita Taveta and parts of Tana River are likely to have low rains compared to the past years. The total rains here will be below 400 millimeters. If you're in this region, repair your soil water conservation structures like terraces, water pans and zai pits so that they can hold more water in the soil. The coastal strip will see below normal rainfall. This includes the counties of Lamu, Kilifi, Mombasa and Kwale. The total rains expected in this region is 300 millimeters. If you're in these regions, continue planting drought-resistant crops such as beans, cassava, cowpeas and vegetables to ensure you have a harvest even with the low rains. Central Kenya will get normal to above normal rains spread throughout the season just above 400 millimeters. This spans across Nyandarua, Nyeri, Kirinyaga, Murang'a, Meru, Embu, Nairobi, Kiambu, and Laikipia. The Rift Valley, Western and Nyanza regions, including the counties of West Pokot, Uasin Gishu, Nandi, Trans Nzoia, Bomet, Kericho, Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet, Narok, Busia, Kakamega, Siaya, Homa Bay, Nyamira, and Kisii will receive normal to above normal rainfall of just above 400 millimeters this season. If you're in these regions, continue planting, replanting, and gapping. Gapping is filling the spaces in your farm where the seeds did not germinate after planting to maintain the correct plant population. Monitor and scout for pest and fungal diseases every few days. Control diseases and pests as soon as you see them using the right pesticides and fungicides. If you'd like more information on what to plant or a detailed weather forecast for your area, get in touch with Shamba. Call us on 0711 082 606. See you you next week on the Shamba Shape Up Farming News for Kenya.
A few hours have gone by, and it's time to see what's happened to our 2 demo plots. As we scrape away the maize tovers, I think it's clear. The plot on the right that was covered is still looking wet. The one that was uncovered on the left is dry. Now, if we smell the soil, there is a marked difference. The one we covered still smells damp. And if the 2 samples are compressed in the hand, the covered soil is sticking together, while the uncovered soil is dry and crumbling. It's clear to see that the soil covered with a layer of mulch or crop residue holds water in the soil. But that's not all. Covered soil also helps stop weeds from growing too. So now, we are sure to get a bumper harvest.
You can also achieve soil cover by planting cover crops like legumes together with your main crop. Like, you can plant maize together with beans, and beans will provide cover for the maize. But our farmer Phoebe has been having a challenge with intercropping. Boaz from Seat is here to help.
So Phoebe, what was the main challenge when you are doing intercropping?
When I did 2 rows of millet, 2 rows of beans, when the millet was growing, it was somehow overshadowing the beans. So I had to do a lot of thinning to the millet.
Boaz, what do you recommend for intercropping?
With that particular experience of overshadowing, you can widen the spaces between the 2. Let's say, for example, you can take what we call now strip cropping, where you have 4 rows of beans and you can do 2 rows of millet. And that way you widen the space and you reduce the competition for light and shading.
Let's go deeper into strip cropping.
Mrs. Tembo has been growing maize as her main crop, but the yield is not looking so good. So, how can we help? Well, with the help of our friends in the graphics department here on Munda Makeover, we are preparing a special video to show you how. Maize is one of Zambia's favorite crops, but if it's grown too often in the same field, pests multiply. Diseases spread more quickly, and the soil can run out of the nutrients the crop needs to grow strong and healthy. So, what's the solution? Well, crop rotation is very important. Never plant the same crop in the same soil as the season before. But what we want to discuss today is a companion technology, strip cropping. That is, planting alternating rows of different plants side by side. Let's see how to strip crop maize. First, which plants make the best companions? Maize is a plant that loves nitrogen. The more it gets, the stronger it grows, and the bigger the cobs it produces. Fertilizers, however, are expensive, and chemical fertilizers can have a long-term impact on soil health. The solution: plant a crop next to the maize that feeds the maize. That is, it fixes nitrogen in the soil. No need for so much fertilizer. Typically, these are legumes and include pigeon pea, groundnuts, soybeans, and cowpeas. And not only will they help improve the soil, they produce their own delicious food crops as well. It's a win-win. Now, having chosen our plants, we need to know how to plant them. Many farmers simply plant alternating rows. The problem with this method is that if the plants are too close together, they compete. One can end up shading the other from sunlight. And then timing is also important. If legumes are planted at the same time as the maize, they might steal too many nutrients from each other, leaving one or both stunted. To find out how best to strip crop, CIMMYT, the International Maize and Wheat Improvement Center, spent many years experimenting to find out the best techniques. And today, we are going to bring you 2 variations that were both proved to work very well. First, double row strip cropping. In this system, 2 rows of maize are alternated with 3 rows of legumes. The 2 rows of maize should be planted 50 centimeters apart. The in-row spacing for maize and should be 25 centimeters from plant to plant. the legumes should have total space of 130 centimeters per strip, with either 2 or 3 rows evenly spaced depending on the crop chosen. If you choose pigeon pea, plant 2 rows with 50 centimeters between each row and 40 centimeters between the pigeon pea and the maize on either side. If you choose cowpea, groundnut, or beans, then plant 3 rows with 35 centimeters between each row and 30 centimeters between the last row and the maize on the other side. The in-row spacing for the legumes should be 30 centimeters from plant to plant. The total width then for the maize and legume strips combined will be 180 centimeters. In the next growing season, follow the crop rotation principles and swap the planting sites. The improved light access of 2-row cropping will actually increase yield over the single-row cropping system. Now, this is all very well. But what if you wanted to use mechanization on the farm? Tractors, maybe? Well, the scientists at CIMMYT discovered that although mechanization is possible with 2-row strip cropping, a maize legume strip crop of 4 rows maize alternating with 4 rows of legumes is easier to implement and also preferred by farmers as weeding is more convenient. When planting 4-row strip cropping, the combined strip width is 360 centimeters, with 4 rows of maize planted 45 centimeters apart on one side, totaling 180 centimeters, and 4 rows of legumes planted 45 centimeters apart on the other side, also totaling 180 centimeters. The in-row spacing for the maize should be 25 centimeters from plant to plant. Plant 2 seeds and thin for 1. The in-row spacing for the legumes should be 30 centimeters from plant to plant. In the next growing season, follow the crop rotation principles of conservation agriculture as before, swapping the maize and the legume planting rows. So, that's it. If you follow these recommendations, you can save on inputs like fertilizers. You will have more variety of food to harvest, which will help against the unpredictable effects of climate change, and you will provide a greater range of healthy food for the family. All this, and you will have a bumper harvest.
That is it for today. See you next week.